Hello everyone, Johnny Thunder, EAS&Weather here, with a severe weather update for the Day 1 Outlook. You have to excuse me if I start coughing and get a little congested. I'm fighting a cold right now, so just bear with me here in the video. But I wanted to get this video out because we have a very dangerous severe weather outbreak expected to continue today, and today looks to be the most dangerous. And it's going to be even more dangerous than last night. So, the Storm Prediction Center put out a rare, high risk for severe weather today across east central Mississippi and west central and central Alabama. Okay, again, that high risk area encompasses east central Mississippi and west central and central Alabama. So, a high risk is not very common, and we typically only see it once a year, if that, on average. So, this is going to be a very serious severe weather threat today, and again, the high-risk area today encompasses east central Mississippi and west central and central Alabama. We have a moderate risk for severe weather today that encompasses east central Louisiana, most of Mississippi, south central Tennessee, most of Alabama, western Georgia, and the western part of the Florida Panhandle. We have an enhanced risk for severe weather today that encompasses central and southeastern Louisiana, far southeastern Arkansas, northwestern Mississippi, southwestern, north central, and southeastern Tennessee, far southwestern North Carolina, the very far extreme northwestern tip of South Carolina, central Georgia, and the central part of the Florida Panhandle. We have a slight that encompasses far southeastern Texas, western Louisiana, east central Arkansas, the very far extreme northwestern tip of Mississippi, western and northeastern Tennessee, most of Mississippi, south central Indiana, southwestern Virginia, west central North Carolina, west central South Carolina, east central Georgia, and the eastern part of the Florida Panhandle, and areas in the dark green are on the marginal today. Going to the tornado threat for today, we have a 30% chance of tornadoes today that encompasses east central Mississippi and central and west central Alabama. And if you're in the 30% tornado risk area today, that you have the highest potential of seeing very strong, violent, long-track tornadoes today. Okay, within the 30% tornado risk area again. The 30% tornado risk area encompasses east central Mississippi and central and west central Alabama. So, and this is the area that could see some very strong, violent tornadoes, that could be EF4, maybe even EF5. Let's hope not, but you need to prepare for it. Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. But, again, this 30% area, you could see an EF4, maybe even EF5. And an EF5 is very rare, and the last time we had an EF5 was on May 20th, 2013, when the violent EF5 tornado struck Moore, Oklahoma, on again May 20th, 2013. And there hasn't been an EF5 tornado since, so this could be the first EF5 tornado in 12 years, pretty much. And even though the numbers go down, the farther out you go, there could still be tornadoes, and so there is a 15% chance of tornadoes today, and there could also be violent tornadoes in the 15% tornado risk area today, which encompasses east central Louisiana, most of Mississippi, east central Louisiana, most of Mississippi, south central Tennessee, most of Alabama, western Georgia, and the western part of the Florida Panhandle. There is a 10% chance of tornadoes today that encompasses central and southeastern Louisiana, far southeastern Arkansas, northwestern Mississippi, southwestern, north central, and southeastern Tennessee, far southwestern North Carolina, the very far extreme northwestern tip of South Carolina, central Georgia, and the central part of the Florida Panhandle. In the black dashed area is where we have the highest potential of seeing strong tornadoes of EF2 rating or stronger. Again, the black dashed area, which encompasses the entirety of the 30%, 15%, and 10% tornado risk areas today, had the highest potential of seeing strong tornadoes of EF2 rating or stronger. And again, don't make this update on me, but in my opinion, I feel that the highest probability of seeing those strong tornadoes, those strong, violent, long-track tornadoes are across the 15% and 30% tornado series, where again, could see couple EF4s, maybe even EF5. So anyway, areas in the brown, so the lower the numbers, the lower the threat, and the lower the numbers, the lower the threat. But just because you're only in the 2% doesn't mean you can't get a tornado. There can still be tornadoes even in lower numbers. So you still have to prepare for tornadoes, and even a strong tornado at that. No matter what number you're at, if it's 1 or above. Okay? But again, I think the areas across the 30% and 15% tornado risk areas have the highest potential of seeing those strong, long-tracked, violent tornadoes. So the brown area is where you have a 5% chance of tornadoes today, and the dark green is where you have a 2% chance of tornadoes. So, going to the wind threat for today, we have a 45% chance of damaging wind gusts of 58 miles per hour higher today that encompasses South Central Tennessee, northeastern Alabama, and northwestern Georgia. Again, the 45% chance of damaging wind gusts of 58 miles per hour higher today encompasses South Central Tennessee, far northeastern Alabama, and far northwestern Georgia. And there is a 30% chance of damaging wind gusts of 58 miles per hour higher today that encompasses far east central Louisiana, most of Mississippi, most of Alabama, the western part of the Florida Panhandle, most of Georgia, the very far extreme northwestern tip of South Carolina, far southwestern North Carolina, and central Tennessee. Now, if you look at the black dashed area is where you have the highest potential of seeing hurricane force wind gusts of 74 miles per hour higher today from thunderstorms. Again, the black dashed area is where you have the highest potential of seeing hurricane force wind gusts of 74 miles per hour higher from thunderstorms today. So, in the areas in the yellow are in a 15% chance of damaging wind gusts of 58 miles per hour higher today, and the areas in the brown are in a 5% chance of damaging wind gusts of 58 miles per hour or higher today. Going to the hail threat for today, there is a 30% chance of hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger today that encompasses northeastern Louisiana, central and much of Mississippi, and west central and northwestern Alabama. There is a 15% 15% chance of hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger today that encompasses far southeastern Texas, parts of western and southern Louisiana, southeastern Arkansas, northwestern and southern Mississippi, eastern Arkansas, as I mentioned, I think, northern and southern Mississippi, much of Tennessee, southwestern Kentucky, most of Alabama, western Georgia, and the western part of the Florida Panhandle. And if you look at the black dashed area is where you have the highest potential of seeing hail of 2 inches in diameter or larger today. Again, the black dashed area is where you have the highest potential of seeing hail of 2 inches in diameter or larger today. And the brown area is where you have a 5% chance of hail of 1 inch in diameter or larger today. So, going to the summary for today, a tornado outbreak is expected across the central Gulf Coast states and deep south into the Tennessee Valley. Numerous significant tornadoes, some of which should be long-track and potentially violent, are expected this afternoon and evening. The most dangerous tornado threat should begin across eastern Louisiana and Mississippi during the late morning to afternoon, spread across Alabama late today into the evening, and reach western parts of the Florida Panhandle and Georgia tonight. So that's your day one outlook. You're really gonna want to be weather aware today, especially if you're across the moderate and high risk areas today. So God bless to those affected in the high risk and moderate risk. So remain vigilant, have a plan in place, be prepared for violent tornadoes today. So you really need to be prepared. So stay safe in the affected areas today, especially in the high risk and moderate risk. And God bless to those affected. And have a way of getting warnings, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.